Today I'm going to be showing my tips for how to hand wash expensive dresses. The first step is to turn the garments inside out. After you have turned your garments inside out, you can either hang them on a hanger or lay them flat on a laundry rack. So I will show you both today. And it is brand new, so I am not really worried about washing the outside. I'm not worried if it gets wet, but I'm also not worried about it being dirty. So I'm mostly concentrating on the inside today. The next step is to spray the garment with a mild soap solution. This is Branch Basics, which is a concentrate that you add water to. You can either wet the garment first or just spray the soap directly on, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm just doing a light mist all over the inside. And this is what it looks like to do a hanging skirt. You can see this outfit also has fringe, so I'm being careful not to tangle that up. Next, turn on the shower to just cold water. And for the flat garment, for the hanging garment, just start spraying from the top. So for the hanging garment, if the front side has things that you don't want to get wet, then I would lay this flat. But since I'm not really worried about the front getting wet, I don't have to be careful about the water seeping in toward this top part, the top opening. And then flip the skirt and do the other side. For the flat garment, just lay it flat and spray the water directly over. So the reasons for doing this are that brand new clothes are full of lots of toxic chemicals. Shipping crates are fumigated, and you also don't know how many people have tried on these clothes. After you finish spraying, you can leave them to hang dry for a few minutes to drip off some of the moisture. But if you have anything that's hanging that you're worried about the weight of the garment pulling on things like this, then you want to get it off the hanger as soon as possible, or not have it hanging at all when it's wet, because that weight will be creating a lot of pull on any straps that you have. These are just the kind that go on the hanger, so I'm not that worried, but you also don't want to be ripping the fabric. So that was a pretty quick, easy wash. Like I said, this is brand new, so I'm not worried about it being particularly dirty from an event per se. I'm just worried about those new chemicals, and I don't know who's touched it or where it's been. So at the very least, I wanted to try and spray out some of those before I wear it. So after it's been hanging for a few minutes, you can give it a gentle squeeze, but be careful not to wring or twist. To dry the garment, I'm going to show you my towel method. So if you had a really long dress, you could lay 2 towels down like this and lay the dress on it. If you only have one short dress, or in this case, a top and a skirt, you can probably fit them on one. And again, we have have to be careful about the fringe here. We don't want that to get tangled up. All right, so that's how it looks on the towel. Then what I do is, other towel, I'm going to lift it and put the top side, the side that wasn't touching the floor, to sandwich that garment in between them. So normally for my bath towels, I only use certified organic towels. These are beach towels, or pool towels, I should say. And they're mostly just decorative, and my kids took them off the wall, so I decided to use these today. So I'm just pressing in between the towel layers. And if this isn't enough, you can get 2 more towels and repeat with dry towels. Or you can also turn the garment the other way around. This is what I mean by our decorative towel rack. It's in our pool bathroom, just in case we have a pool party or something and we need a lot of extra towels. This is actually a wine rack. It's actually a really good idea if you want to steal it. So the top of this is great because it can be fully opened, so it's all one layer spread out. This one has a pocket, so the layer in here could still be wet. So you can either flip it to the other way around, or if you're worried about the fringe, you can also open that garment up and put in a small hand towel or a big towel if it fits, and use that to get that inside layer, or turn it right side out again and do the sandwich method. For any towel, make sure that you're not worried about any dyes bleeding out. These have been washed, so I'm not worried about this dye coming out. This one doesn't have any, and then I'm also not worried about dyes from my garment getting on these towels because, like I said, we don't even use them. I've got another towel to show my rolling or folding method. If the garment doesn't have fringe or anything you're worried about pulling, this one doesn't have any loose beading, then you're probably okay to roll or fold to help get a little more water out. So I folded the towel on itself one time. You can either fold it more times or fold enough that you actually looks like a roll, and then press down on the towel, and the garment in between will get more moisture out of it. The last step is to put your garment back on a hanger, and like I said, be careful about any straps or hanging strings that you don't want to stretch out too much if your garment's still heavy. You can leave it inside out or turn it right side out. It depends which side you think need more help being exposed to air to get it to dry. So I've made sure that this top isn't getting pulled at all up here. And then find a safe place to hang it up to let it finish air drying. I just wanted to talk about another reason why I use this method instead of a washing machine is because spraying is so gentle compared to like the agitation of a washing machine. And then I don't use the soak and drain method in a bowl or a bathtub, because then the garment is just sitting in whatever dirt and toxins and you'd have to drain it so many times. So I like that the water sprays right off, taking all the nasties with it. Anyway, if I were to put this, I probably could get away with putting this through the washer and dryer, but then it might look like I put it through a washer and dryer, and I want it to look, this will keep it looking new using this method. And so this was also brand new, but the same method can be used for clothes that you actually wear too. And dresses with a lot of layers, like if you're not worried about the outside of the dress and the dress has a lot of layers like poofiness, and you turn it inside out and just wash this inside part sometimes and carefully spray it. Sometimes you can avoid getting water getting in on that innermost layer, like if there was poofy layer inside. And then also you can use the drying rack for actual drying. So this is my son's dance costume that I just washed using the same method. And now I've laid it out to dry this way instead of hanging it up. And when you're all done drying your garments, you can hang dry your towels. And if you remember which side you've had up, so I had tags facing up on this set of towels. So after they dry, I could use them again to use the same method with other clothes and just make sure those tags are still facing right side up. So the side that was touching the floor doesn't touch my clothes next time. If you used beach towels, you could air dry them and just use them. I mean, I would be comfortable for that kind of purpose. Or you can just wash them. So this is the finished dress. It's all dry and it looks great. So this is what it would look like if you had a long dress spread out across 2 towels. And also I mentioned about dresses with a lot of layers. This one I only sprayed the inside out at the inside, and so the outside has remained dry. This is a brand new dress, so I'm not worried about cleaning the outside. So if you do want to submerge your garments, you would put just enough water at the bottom of your bathtub to cover the garment, and then add a little bit of gentle detergent. I'm going to use Branch Basics. This is a concentrate, so I'm really just going to put a tiny bit and mix that up a little bit. Then I'm going to add my dress. And also make sure your bathtub is clean, because if you have a lot of dirt or residue at the bottom, it could transfer onto your dress, which is another reason why I have it inside out. Now, depending on the dress, you could soak it. This dress could probably get soaked for a while, but depending on the fabric and the dyes, you might not want to soak it for very long. Depending how dirty your garment is, you can gently squeeze to get the soapy water through. And when you're ready to rinse it, you can either drain the water and repeat this, or you can do the shower method.